Good afternoon, everyone. This is Shanti Kumaraswamy Street, your business English trainer from English with a Twist. How's it going, everyone? How are you? Let me know where you are calling from or, zooming in from to say hi. It is 3 p.m. British Summer Time on Wednesday, the 21st of June. So I hope you're now ready for our regular lesson this Wednesday, which is lesson 28. Now, before I go any further, can you please tell me if you can hear me clearly? Let me know in the chat box, because now hold on, let me just open up my Facebook page, because I have the fan on in my office, and because it's incredibly hot here in London. Miraculously, we are looking at 35 degrees centigrade here in London, which makes it the hottest day in June for I don't know how long, and and it becomes a item of news because everyone starts talking about it. Priya, hello, so you can hear me. So I'm fairly clear, okay? Because otherwise I'd switch off the fan, but I could risk melting whilst we're having this lesson. So I'm not sure you'd want me to do that. Anyway, welcome. As I said, zoom in, tell me where you're from, what time it is. So welcome to English with a Twist, Wednesdays with EWAT, and this is the place to be for all of you professionals looking to improve your English so that you can communicate effectively, confidently, clearly, and successfully in English with your clients and your colleagues around the world. This is where we interact, and this is your chance also to interact with me here during this live lesson. Now, before I start, I'm just going to finish off my espresso. And normally it's a bit late for my espresso, but normally after lunch I like to have a little cup of espresso. I think it allows me to stay awake for the afternoon. I don't know about you, but normally, when we have lunch and straight after lunch, there's a dip in our energy levels, aren't they? I don't know, when you're working in the morning is when we're most creative, most energetic. Then after lunch, the sugar, all our sugar levels drop in the sense that all the oxygen goes from our brain straight to our tummy to help digest, and then we need to perk ourselves up. And I have a little Italian espresso with my Nespresso machine, and so I'm just going to give it a little slurp. I'm looking at different people coming in. Virginia, hi from Madrid. It's even hotter in Madrid. Yes, I heard some horrendous temperature of around about 44 degrees. Is that correct? Let me know, Virginia. Hi, Dan. Hi, Roberto. I saw Priya. Priya said hello, and I am just going to refresh, as I always do, my Facebook page. Good morning from Austin. How's it going in Austin? Yes, it is, Virginia. What? 44 degrees in Madrid? Oh my word. That is, unimaginable for me. Even being half Malaysian, in Malaysia we never quite go to those levels. Humidity levels are high, but not quite the temperature. I see Rosie has joined the lesson. What's it like in Milan? Rosie, by the way, is my mom, and as most of you know, I was in Milan, gosh, it's almost 2 weeks ago. Well, no, a week ago. I left last Tuesday, and it was super hot. So I'm just curious whether we might be having the same temperature. Oh, 100 degrees Fahrenheit in Austin. Dan, I don't do Fahrenheit, so can you convert that for me to Celsius? That way I understand. Sorry, if you can just quickly work that out for me, because that makes sense more to me. Right, let's see. Now, what are we talking about today? How's it been going so far for you guys for this week, your working week? You're in the middle of the week. Are you at the beginning of the day, like in Austin? Are you in the middle of the day, or are you at the end of the day? Excuse me whilst I just pause. 38 degrees in Austin, Texas. Oh my word. okay, people, I think you're all in very much warmer climate than me. Okay, so I better stop complaining, shall I? Okay, I won't complain. I'll just leave my fan on. Okay, guys. Okay, you win. You are in much hotter climates than me. All right. So let's see. As I say, some of you could be in the middle of your day. Hi, Gabriela. Lovely to see you. In the middle of your day, towards the end of the day, or at the beginning. So, as I said to you, it's 3 o'clock for me, so it's mid-afternoon, and I'm having my little quick espresso to keep me boosted, keep my energy levels up. I'm just going to finish the sip, okay? Yum. It was a very nice, strong coffee. I had a little piece of chocolate too to help that, to make that coffee taste even better. Okay, some of you might be thinking, Shanti, has she taken something strange today because she's, really hyper? I'm not really, honestly. So, what's today's topic? I was thinking about this, and because I want to share this really piece of little good news, and I felt quite happy about it. I was contacted by Cambridge University Press to write a guest blog for them on their I think it's World Learning blog. Hi from the Philippines. Hi Giovanni, you've just had your coffee too. Excellent. They asked me to write a post on business, and so I was really honored and thrilled actually, because I thought, wow, that's great. So here we go. So then I was thinking, what am I going to write about? And I started researching, but I've changed my plan now, but I started researching business jargon, business English jargon. Now, who of you, if you could just share with me in the chat box, how many of you use a lot of jargon in your work? Actually, first of all, let's look at defining what jargon is. What is jargon? What do we understand by the definition of jargon, the word jargon? So jargon spelled, and I'm going to put it in the chat box here so you all know, it's Jargon. Jargon. Hello from Pakistan. 38 degrees in the evening. Oh my word. I'm just looking. So Gabriela, I saw Jessica also. Granata, I haven't seen you in ages, Jessica. So glad you could join us. And a number of people. So what do you understand by the word jargon? Business jargon. And do you use it in your business? So Fitnea, you say technical terms. Okay, so we have technical jargon. For example, in what industry could you come up with technical jargon? I'm thinking maybe the engineering sector, the medical sector, the financial sector. We have a lot of financial jargon. What else in your sectors? Share with me. What sectors do you work in? Now, jargon is so therefore, if you work in a particular sector, you're most likely to understand each other when you use business jargon. So can you give me some examples in your industry? What sort of jargon you use? Scientific and agricultural research, absolutely. Web and computer, Dan, very much so. The internet is full. Think cookies, think, I can't think of other things, please. But I was just thinking, yes, you've got cookies. Aviation jargon, absolutely. Now, workforce jargon, yes, that's interesting because that's what I'm going to be picking up on in today's class, Priya. You're absolutely right. So we have the technical. Does it include acronyms? Gabrielle asks. Anyone? Does it include acronyms? What are acronyms? Actually, no. Acronyms are the first letter of a word. Perhaps, because if the acronym then becomes used in, yes, for example, BRIC, B-R-I-C. You could be right, actually, Gabrielle, because BRIC, which stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and it's been used a lot in economic terms and also in the financial world when we're talking about those economies. So those are the BRIC countries. So then it ends up becoming an economic jargon, piece of jargon. So it's using that acronym, using the first letter of each country and making that. So you're absolutely right. Or for example, gap when we're talking, or for example, GDP. So the GDP of a country is the gross domestic product. Now, if you don't know what GDP is, then you need someone to explain. And also in all our languages, we'll use that acronym. And unless you understand it, it's meaningless for someone. So you're quite right. So acronyms can become jargon. So in all our industries, we can agree, right? So there are going to be a lot of jargon that we use. And when we're dealing with each other, we are more likely to understand each other. But what happens, Precious, you just said yes, IWT, inter-warehouse transfers. Wow, that is such a great term and such a great acronym and jargon. Exactly. If you said to me, oh, you know, and this, I can just imagine me helping someone with a job interview or their CV or how to prepare their CV in English. And I ask them the question, so what are you involved? Yes, my daily tasks are in IWT. And I would be sitting there thinking, what does that mean? Now, of course, if you are looking for a job within your sector, that's perfectly fine because the other persons are going to understand. But if you're explaining to someone like me at a cocktail party or you're involved in small talk and you say to them, yes, I'm involved in IWT, you're most likely to get a blank look as to what the hell does that mean? I have no idea. So, we have to be always conscious that there's a lot of business jargon that is very specific to our own industry and our own sector. And so we need to think about who we're communicating with in the first place. If there are people within our sector, then fine, they're more likely to understand regardless of what their first language is. So you could be talking to I could be talking to an Italian, a French, a Spaniard, an Indian, and we'll be speaking in English, but some of the terms will be similar. Think about the computing world, the internet world. There are many acronyms, many pieces of jargon that are very similar. So we then end up using them. But here's the thing. There are many times that these pieces of new jargon come into our daily lives, into our business lives. And I'm thinking also of business news. And we start reading an article and journalists will start throwing pieces of jargon into the article. Now, unless it's a specific article, I'll be sitting there thinking, what do they mean by that piece of jargon? And I don't know how you feel, but how do you feel when you read something and you see a piece of jargon that's been used? Maybe it's an acronym like IWT or like BRIC or like the other ones are whiteboard. Whiteboard says WB something, there's another word and I can't think of the word. And everyone sits there and, everyone's nodding and they're, oh, yes, we all understand. And, maybe it's just me sitting there going, I really have no idea what they're talking about. But any of you been in that situation where you're then a bit nervous to raise your hand and go, excuse me, could you explain to me what that means? How many of you have found yourself in that situation? You're in a group, everyone's talking, and then a couple of these words come out, and then you start thinking, and everyone's nodding, everyone's agreeing with each other, and you're sitting there thinking, I have no idea, but I am too embarrassed to ask what it means because I'm going to look a bit stupid, ignorant, I should know, but I don't. Come on, tell me. Come on, put your hands up. Don't tell me you have never had that situation, because I'm sure you have. Come on, I'm waiting, come on. I hope you've all had your coffee so you're awake and you can follow me in this lesson. Have you had that moment when everyone's talking, they all know what they're talking about, but you have no idea what they're saying? And you think, oh, And have you been brave enough to then put your hand up and say, what does that mean, please? Ah, yes, it means. Gabrielle, yes, but it's very hard to raise your hand and ask. Okay, to raise as opposed to rise. Raise your hand. And Dan saying, yes, definitely, especially with academics. Gabrielle, I'm going to ask you the question. Why do you find it hard to raise your hand and ask what it means? What stops you from asking? Can you tell me? So it's raise instead of rise your hand. I'm just going to correct you there. Rise your hand. Raise instead of rise your hand. So you raise a hand. The verb raise needs an object. So what are we raising? We're raising our hand. Yeah, what is it? Because for me, for example, yeah, I think there's the fear of looking silly, looking stupid. You're the only one that might not understand. But you know what? I reckon, and I've had this before, is the boss. Okay, so the Gabrielle, so the person who's speaking is the boss, and you don't want to look like as if you should know, and you don't want to admit that you don't know when you should. Okay, false pride keeps me from raising my hand. That's what Dan says. Interesting. So false pride. What do we mean by false pride? We want to be proud, but we don't want to look like we don't know. And that's the thing about being adults, aren't we? Also, when we get to a certain level in our position in our companies or in seniority, we don't want to admit that we don't know. But the thing is, I've had this situation before where I have not understood something and I just think, oh, listen, I still need to learn. I still need to know this. So I'll raise my hand anyway. I say, oh, you could just say, forgive me. It's just escaped me. Could you just remind me what that means? And I bet you there'll be half the audience or half the group of people with you in that meeting who will be so grateful that you asked the question. Because here's the thing, there'll be a whole lot of other people who had the same question but were too scared to ask. Iqbal, you're saying, instead of raising my hand, I prefer to look for the meaning in the dictionary on my own. Great, excellent, fine, wonderful. Yeah, that's another way. That's another technique, absolutely. Yeah, sometimes I like to also be, maybe help, maybe, as I say, because other people will think, oh, I never knew that. I'm so glad they asked the question because I was too scared to ask the question. Because, we have that, don't we? Anyway, that's technical jargon as we were talking about. So business technical jargon within our own sector, within our own groups, or we understand each other, but we must always be aware of when we're talking about anyone who's outside our sector. So be sensitive to the fact that they may not know what we're talking about. And so consequently, we need to explain what we mean by these acronyms or what we mean by all these different words. But this is not what I'm going to be talking about today. Okay? So what I'm going to be talking to you about are those business jargon phrases that have now become so commonly used in our language, in the English language, which has got nothing really to do with technical terms, but they are much more used around. But they still, in my opinion, don't mean very much. So we're going to look at them. And I know I said at the beginning that it was going to be 12 expressions I was going to be covering. Well, I was researching more and more today and I thought, oh, I've got to add 2 more. So we're looking at 14, okay? So it is 3:20. Let's get cracking. Now, before we do that, oh, Gabrielle, you've got to go now. I hope to see you again, but don't worry, this will be recorded. Thanks so much for coming into the class. Thank you so much for your comments and your interaction. Hope to see you next time. Have a great day, Gabrielle. Take care. So 3:20, so we're going to start. Now, before I start, and we look at these 14 expressions, let me remind you that if you have not yet signed up to English with a Twist and join the EWAT community, You've got to do that the very minute this class ends. You know what you got to do? You got to sign up, get that free e-guide, and get access to my free weekly lessons delivered directly to your inbox on Fridays, Wednesdays with EWAT every Wednesdays, and I will be delivering business idiom videos every Monday. So come on guys, you know it makes sense. Sign up straight after this lesson, okay? I'll be sharing with you that link. All right, let's go. 14 expressions. All right, we're going to start with number 1. I'm going to ask you these, and I'm going to ask you what else could we use instead of this very annoying expression. Let's go for the first one. Blue sky thinking. People, have you heard of that? Blue sky thinking. I'm just writing this down in the box, in the chat box. Blue sky thinking. So let's look at expression. We need to get some more blue sky thinking in this meeting. What do we mean? We have a blue sky here today in London. What are we talking about when we talk about blue sky thinking? You see this around. What? Just give me a show of quick, just think. What do you think when you hear, when you see, when you read blue sky thinking? What do you think it means? Please share with me. Tell me. I want to know. Claudia, you're saying positive? Positive what? Blue sky thinking is positive. Right, but what does it actually mean? If I say to you, we need to have some blue sky thinking in this meeting. So you're thinking we need to be positive. We need to have some positive thinking. Okay, so that's what you mean. That's what you understand. Anybody else? So Claudia has given me one. Anyone else want to give me an idea of what you think when they say that? Does it mean anything for you? Brainstorming. Thinking outside the box. That's my next expression, Dan. Thank you. So we're going to be brainstorming, positive thinking, new ideas. Okay, so we're going to do blue, clear. Oh, clear. Okay, great. Okay, so blue sky thinking. You just come up with lots of different words. You said positive thinking, brainstorming, so coming up with different ideas, original thinking, Zita. Okay, right. Now, does that make more sense to you than blue sky thinking? Using the words you've come up with, positive thinking, we've got to get some new ideas, some innovative ideas. What do you think? Would that be clearer for you? If you were in a meeting and someone says, okay, we need to get some ideas here. We need to start thinking. Would that be better than blue sky thinking? What do you think? Me personally, creative. See, we have come up with alternatives. You have come up with alternatives. Fantastic. And English is your second language. Can you imagine? The native speakers love to use blue sky thinking. What is that all about? The sky is blue? Yeah, so what does that mean? The blue sky means what? Means, oh yes, there's this metaphor. It gives you this idea that, so what is blue sky thinking? Blue sky thinking is effectively in business when we're talking about just having an open mind, not having any preconceptions, not having ideas before, just having an open mind and start thinking creatively. Right? Okay, so how could we come up with? Yeah, limitless, absolutely unlimited. So let's sit down and start brainstorming. Let's not have any preconceived ideas. So ideas that you already have. No, so it's a blank space, and let's come up with some new ideas. Great. That's what we mean by blue sky thinking. But I don't know about you, but it irritates me, that word, that expression. It is similar to the next expression, which is what also Dan mentioned, which is thinking outside the box. But is it the same? Because what does thinking outside the box mean? We need to think outside the box, people. So what, in your opinion, does thinking outside the box mean? What do you understand it? Yeah, let's have a blue sky thinking boss. But what does that mean? What's a blue sky thinking box? Boss, I mean not box, sorry, boss. What, you mean a boss with a creative boss, a innovative boss, you know? Yeah, great. I get that. I understand that. But blue sky thinking, I have no idea. So thinking outside the box is what? We have our box. If we're going to go outside the box, what are we doing? Anna, is that to do with thinking outside the box, to have outstanding ideas, to being creative? Actually, no. Thinking outside the box, what most people understand from it, and this is what I read, my research is, to think differently. Unorthodox thinking. Yes, that's interesting. Unorthodox thinking, you say, Michael. To be unorthodox, to be different. Unorthodox in the sense of being different. Yes? So, wouldn't it be easier if we just said, think differently? Think different? Remember, that's exactly what Steve Jobs said about Apple. Think differently. Yeah? Now, he didn't go, think outside the box. Think different. And I get that. I don't want to be the same. I want to be different from people. So that's what we mean, right? So we could keep it simple and just say, I like to think differently. We are a company that thinks differently to others. But there you go. So that's number 2. Not to have previous, not... Oh, Gabriela, you're talking about blue sky thinking. So you don't have any ideas before, so you're just a blank sheet of paper, if you can imagine. And now we're going to start. Yes, that's blue sky thinking. Right, now, number 3. I've been hearing this a lot, and every time I heard it, I was like, Okay, I know I'm getting irritated. To get all your ducks in a row. What does get your ducks in a row mean? What do you think it means? Get your ducks in a row. So I've written it down in the chat box. Get your ducks in a row. What does that mean? Would you like to share with me? Okay, before we can proceed on this, we're going to need to get all our ducks in a row. Okay, I can imagine getting my little ducks that I use in my bath. You're going to put it in order? Okay, good. I like that, Ramon. I like your thinking there. Yeah, ducks. You're going to put it in order. So if ideas sorted out properly. Okay, so to get to that point, so say you've got your ideas sorted out properly, what do you have to do first to get our ducks all in a row? We need to organize. We need to plan. So in other words, if I'm going to get all my ducks in a row, means I've got a plan. If we want to achieve that result, we're going to need to get all our ducks in a row. No, I need to organize things. I need to plan for this. Yeah, so I need to get everything organized and planned. We need to plan this strategy very carefully before we can proceed. Fantastic. Now, you're all coming up with fantastic. So you understand what it means, this jargon, this phrase. But what do you think? Wouldn't it be easy to just say we need to plan? You know, we need to get everything sorted. We need to get everything organized before we do this. We need to get all our ducks in a row. Yes, some people would say, Shanti, isn't that an idiomatic expression? Yes, it can be an idiomatic expression, but it's more piece of jargon that's now it just becomes used and used and used instead of keeping it simple and just saying we need to plan. No need to tell me I need to get my ducks in a row. Huh? I need to plan something. So it's much easier to just speak plain English. But great, you know, guys, I am so you know, you guys are great because you know so much of this jargon, which suggests to me that you see it a lot. So let's get our ducks in a row, or let's plan. We need to get this plan, need this organized. Wonderful, excellent. Okay, so we've got that one. So now, number 4. We need to drill down. Can I imagine? I've got my drill, my power drill, and I'm drilling down. We need to drill down before we can proceed. What does that mean? I'm looking here at my notes. We need to drill down the facts before we can proceed. What are we talking about? What do we mean by drilling down? What do you reckon, everyone? So drill down. Because to me, it doesn't mean very much. We need to drill down. To practice. Interesting. Okay, so David, you're saying practice. So I need to drill down before to move from a place to another. Find more information about something to think it over. Consider in depth. So Ramon, Gabriel, thank you for that. That's looking good. So consider in depth, get into the details, get deeper into the subject, examine something in depth. Jason, Dan, Michael, Priya, excellent. Examine something more closely. We need to look into this more closely. We need to study it more carefully. Yeah, we need to look into it. Yeah, so we need to drill down. Okay, drill down. Yeah, maybe you like to use it. I've never thought of using it, but yeah, so, but you get it? Great, okay, so you understand that. So we're going to need to drill down. It's interesting because as I was doing some research, these are one of the phrases that people found really annoying. We need to drill down. Why can't you just say we need to look into this more carefully? We need to examine it more carefully. We need to study the data more carefully. Access data in a lower level. What? No, Zita, you mean we need to look into the data more carefully, or we need to study it in more depth. Yeah, so you need to look into something more deeply. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Drill down doesn't, I don't think is specific enough, but that's my opinion. Maybe you don't agree. Maybe you find it very easy to understand. But, tell me, share, because, there's no right or wrong. I'm just sharing with you. So we're going to, I hope everybody's doing well. Now, number 5, which is my absolute favorite expression to hate. Synergize. What on earth does that mean? Synergize in American English with a Z or Z as the Americans would pronounce, or synergize with an S, British English. What does synergize mean? We need to synergize. Come on, guys, we need to synergize. What do we mean? What does that mean? You hear this a lot, and you see it in, you will see it also in marketing material. What does that mean? And for me, I think it's sort of, those fashionable terms. Jason, you are awesome. You cooperate to be in the same energy. Come together in our thinking. Come together in our thinking. Okay, that's quite a long expression, isn't it, Dan? To share the same interests. It is annoying. Yeah, Dan, it is. Synergize is to cooperate. We need to work together. We need to cooperate. Why can't we use that instead? The two companies have to cooperate. We need to work together. We need to cooperate so that we can get that. Yes, we need to work as a team. So synergize is a verb. We need to team up. Great. Another phrasal verb we can use. Gabriela, you say, comes from the Latin word synergia. And synergia means what, Gabriela, in Latin? Can you share with us in the chat box? So, the verb is synergize, but the noun is synergy. So synergy is things that work together. Yeah, that come together and work together. But synergize, I mean, this is the classic jargon where they take the noun and then they make it into a verb to make it sound oh so cool. Because that's my opinion. It just sounds cool, but it doesn't mean anything. Many times when I've seen it, I thought, what does that exactly mean? You guys are brilliant because you know. Yeah, so it's to cooperate, work together, work as a team. You know, great, exactly. Work more closely together. Fantastic, let's do that. Create synergy. Exactly, Michael. Exactly, we need to create synergies. What does that mean? What do you understand by that, Michael? If I'm going to create synergy, what am I doing? Because that's another fantastic business jargon phrase. What's your understanding? Please share. Because here's the thing, I don't always understand some of these phrases because I don't always use them. So to create a synergy, what are we doing? So if you're going to create synergy, if I can understand that from the context we're talking about in business, means we're creating the situation where people work together. So we're going to create the platform, we're going to create a way for us to work. We're creating the situation where we can cooperate. Yeah, so let's work together. Synergy, in my opinion, is a complicated word to use, but we don't need to use complicated word. Mutual cooperation, mutual assistance. So Amir, thank you. You just shared the video. Thank you so much. Stop worrying, I couldn't hear the last 4 minutes. Oh, Zita, sorry. Yes. Well, hopefully you can catch up with the recording later. Yeah, so creating synergy is creating the situation where you can work together as teams, as companies, as whatever we're doing, as colleagues, and then there you go. But synergize, oh, if only people could stop doing that. So Gabriela, you're saying in Latin, synergia is to give force to an idea. Okay, so it has got really nothing to do with the verb synergize and the way we use it in business English, isn't it? To give force to an idea. Synergy, because that's giving force. It's the synergy we have. It's that, yes, I can see that. Synergize is to cooperate. We're not giving any force to anybody. We're just working together, so we're cooperating. Great stuff, guys. Thank you so much. The other one, number 6, which I said this recently to my sister, and I've seen this a lot. I get this a lot when I have emails from people. Now, they'll start the email with, Dear Shanti, or Dear Mrs. Street, or whatever, Dear Shanti, I'm just reaching out to you with this email too. And the moment I see the words reach out, I'm really tempted to close the email. I'm not too sure why it really irritates me, but have you used this? I'm reaching out to you. I am reaching out to you or, you know, sometimes you say, we need to reach out to our customers. We need to reach out to our customers. We need to reach out to our clients to make them feel part of this, I don't know, whatever. We need to reach out. Have you used this? Have you seen it used in English, in business English? What does it mean? You know, when we talk about reaching out, what are we doing? We're reaching out. So I'm reaching out, okay? It says there's a book up in the shelf and I'm going to reach out to get it. That's what I'm going to do. But when I say I'm reaching out to you, or we need to reach out to our customer, we're going to make an effort to do something for other people. Priya is saying to get in touch. Yes, I'm reaching out. You're getting in touch with, you're contacting, not getting contact with. Oh yeah, I'm getting contact. I'm sorry, I do apologize. Claudia, yes. So you're contacting someone. So when I write to you and I go, I'm reaching out to you to inform you of the special deal we have at the moment, what are you doing to me? you're writing to me. I'm getting in touch, or I'm writing to you to inform you. We need to reach out to our customers. We need to contact our customers, or we need to communicate with our customers. What's wrong with those words? What's reaching out? Reaching out is I'm reaching out to get my book. I'm reaching out to grab something at the top of the shelf. In commercial companies, that's the campaigns, they reach out to people. What are they doing? They're not reaching out to me, oh, come to be. No, they're communicating. That's all they're doing. They're communicating to people. Because often you'll say the government is reaching out to the people. By doing what? So what they're saying is the government is communicating with us. They're communicating. That reaching out. And sometimes that reaching out, I know it sort of gives you that touchy-feely, oh, I'm reaching out to you. Well, no, I don't need you to touch me. Thanks very much. We're in a business environment. Yes, okay, we want to develop a rapport with each other, but maybe we need, it depends on the situation, right? I'm trying to sell a product, okay, but I'm still contacting you. I'm going to let you know. But this reach out has become very, I'm reaching out to hold you, to feel you. Yeah, okay, people. I want you to buy my product. That's all I want you to do. I don't, and when people, and I think you can use it in certain ways. I think, okay, Dan is saying, I think it's a little more than communicating. It's also initiating a contact. Yes, but you can, yeah, I know. And a lot of people like it. A lot of people, I know, many people do that. I don't know, maybe choose it, but it's sometimes I just think, what are you trying, and I think it also depends, maybe what I mean is what really I think is, it depends on the formality, depends on who you're writing to. If you're writing a fairly neutral email or piece of marketing literature, yeah, we try to reach out to you on your registered mobile. No, we try to contact you. Thanks for reaching out. I think it's a fake way of seeming to express some kind of emotion. Dan, you're absolutely right. So if you are, if your communication is neutral, you try to contact someone but they weren't at home. You try to contact that registered mobile number but it was out of use, or you couldn't get hold of that person. Just say we tried to contact you. Because reaching out suggests to me an emotion that can come across as false if I don't feel that it's there. I can reach out to you if I am your best friend, or I'm a very close friend, or I'm a close working colleague. And maybe you're in a moment of difficulty, you're having some problems, and I want to reach out to you and just say, listen, things are going to be okay, take care, you'll be okay. But reach out has become this piece of business jargon that everyone reaches out, and then it becomes very fake. This is my opinion. And so I think sometimes it's useful to think, if I'm going to write a neutral piece of content, just think about, do you want that emotion in there, or are you keeping it neutral? If that's the case, then use things like contact, communicate. I try to contact you, I'm writing to you to inform you of, but not this reach out. That's my opinion. You might agree, disagree, but who knows? Jason, thank you so much for sharing my video. That's really kind. So that's reach out. All right, people. So number 7. What time is it? Gosh, I better get my skates on. That's another idiomatic expression. Gotta hurry. Impact. Now, the word impact is normally used as a noun in English, but here it's being used as a verb. We need to impact our customers. We have to impact, the changes we've made to our product is going to impact our customers. It's going to impact the market. So you're using impact as a verb instead of a noun, because normally in English the word impact is a noun. Here we're using it as a verb. Now, why is that irritating? Well, to me at least, and to many other people. Why? Is it going to shock the market? So the changes I made to my product are going to impact, they're going to shock. Okay, I can see what you're saying, Claudia, because sometimes we talk about impact as in a noun. There's a sudden impact, so there's a strike, there's a hit. Different. Here where we are using it with business English jargon, what do people mean when they say the changes in our product will impact our customers in a positive way, in a negative way? What does that verb impact mean? What is another word you would use instead? Can you tell me? Impact. So what could we use instead? Anyone? Right, make a big change, have an influence. Okay, can I have a verb that would do that? What's a verb that has the same meaning as have an influence? Okay, let's go. Not quite Priya, but you're on the right track. So it's not effect, but it's affect. Will affect. Ooh, agitate, could do. If it's really a big change. So it's going to affect our customers. It's going to affect the market. So the changes we've made to our product, the changes we've made to our business model is going to affect our revenue, our turnover, our profit margin. It's not going to impact, but impact has become this verb. And why have people done that? Because often people can't tell the difference, or are not sure, they get confused between the difference between affect and effect. Affect versus effect. So what do? They use the word impact. Will impact on. Doesn't mean it. It will affect, but it will have an effect. So effect is the noun, affect is the verb. But you'll often see will impact on. But that's become business jargon. That's not really proper use of English. And instead what would be good is to use the word affect. Will affect our business, will affect our profit margin, will affect. And that's the reason why impact has come in. Noun versus verb. Yes, the other way around, Pranjal. So affect is the verb and noun, effect is the noun. Okay, the other word I have got is the price point. You'll see in literature, the price point. The price point, our price point is. Why does that irritate me? Why do we have to put price point? Why can't we just say price? This is where you have this business jargon and also too many words to say not much more. So you don't need to say price point. I can just say the price. You know, our price point is where we start. Our price point starts at. Our prices start from, rather than price point. But sometimes you see that and you think, oh, that must sound really good. You go, well, no, it hasn't added anything to the language. Let's stick to our prices start from, our prices have remained unchanged, blah, blah, blah. So, next one. I'm sure you've heard this one. Push the envelope. Okay, Dan is saying, very good point about price point. In marketing, it means the seemingly correct price for a product or service. Yeah, but you could still just say the price, couldn't you? Why would you say the price point? Because what you're saying is it's the price starting from there, right? But, hey, jargon is jargon, but that's in marketing. But if I start using it in normal business speak, I think, don't need to. Too many words. I can just say the price. The next one is pushing the envelope. Pushing the envelope. Ah. Claudia, you're saying to bribe? Interesting. What, to push the envelope? I love it. That's it. I love it. Yes, so bribes, because you know when you give a bribe, you're going to put the money inside an envelope and then you give it to someone. Love that idea. It's not quite, but no, when we're going to push the envelope, and this is exactly why jargon would be very confusing, because you're thinking, oh, I'm bribing someone. It works like that in Argentina, in many countries, Claudia, not just in Argentina. Okay, not quite that, but yes, I can see that. So that is almost a real meaning of push the envelope, you know, pass the envelope across. Here's your money. No, if we're going to push the envelope, we need to push the envelope here. If we are going to succeed, we are going to have to push that envelope. Really, a bribe is illegal, yes, but yeah, but it doesn't stop people from doing it. So if you're going to push the envelope, what are we going to do? We are actually going to put a lot of effort into something. We're going to do more than we need to do, or that, you know, so we're testing the limits. We're going to push that envelope. We're going to do more. Exactly. So, you know, I think we need to work harder. We need to really do our best. Why can't we say that instead? We need to work harder. We need to do our best, because here's the thing. Pushing the envelope just confused someone. And they thought, oh, you need to bribe? So if we're going to get that contract, we need to push the envelope? Really? We need to bribe the officials to get that project done? No, Shanti. We meant that we need to work harder. Okay, Dan, you've just come up with a complex, push the pedal to the metal. I have never heard that one, but I will make a note and we'll discuss it for another class. Yes, it is used to bribe in Argentina a lot. There you see, Gabriela, exactly. So if I'm going to use business jargon like we need to push the envelope, that could be very much misunderstood in certain countries, in certain cultures, you know. So, but some people love using, oh, we're going to push that envelope. No, it means we've got to put a lot of effort in and work hard. Yes, quite confusing indeed, Gabriela. Thank you. Great. So push the envelope is, no, not quite to be innovative, is to actually work hard. We're going to do everything we can. We're going to do our best to do that. So we're going to work hard. That's what we mean. Excellent. Now, number 10. We're coming almost to the end. A helicopter view. I'm going to give you a helicopter view of our products and services. What on earth does that mean? A helicopter view. Anyone can tell me? What's a helicopter view of your products and services? Have you ever given a helicopter view? Vaughn, lovely to see you. Hi. Overall view. Okay, overall view. Another word for overall view. Or an overview. Yes, let me give you an overview. An overall view, an overview. A bird's eye view. Okay, a bird's eye view. Go the extra mile is not quite. Go the extra mile. Okay, but that's a new. So go the extra mile. What does that mean? That's another way of pushing the envelope, right? To do more than you need. Yeah, so the helicopter view is, you imagine your helicopter, you're hovering and you're looking over. Exactly, it's to give an overview. Do you know, the first time I heard a drone's view, Claudia, I love you. Yeah, love it. I love that. So you've got that helicopter view. The first time I came across this word was when someone talked about helicopter parents. And I thought, helicopter parent, what is a helicopter parent? And it's apparently about parents who are always looking over what their children are doing. You know, they're too worried, they want to be involved in everything their children do and are constantly looking. And I thought, really? Wow, this is a new word, new buzzword that I had never heard of. And now I discover helicopter view. So today in this presentation, I'm going to give you a helicopter view of our products and services. Why can't we just say an overview? Maybe it just sounds so much nicer. Okay, but you guys seem to understand that. Yes, the overstressed parents who are then helicopter parents end up being overstressed. You're absolutely right, May. So, okay, so helicopter view, you guys get that? It's bizarre, but I think I prefer overview. Helicopter parents are a nightmare for teachers. Biljana, yeah, they get involved in everything. Yes, I can imagine. I'm not a parent and I don't teach young kids, so I wouldn't know. So thank goodness I deal with adults and their parents don't come to see me. Right, next one. 11. 11 has got two parts to it. Touch base. Let's touch base next week. What are we doing when we're going to touch base next week? Touch base. Let's touch base next week. Let's meet, right? Let's touch base next week. Let's meet next week. Yeah? Oh, we love doing that, right? Let's touch base. You know, okay, yeah, good idea. Hey, let's touch base next week. Yeah, drop me an email and we'll see what we can do. Oh, touch base. Yeah, to contact someone. Yeah, let's touch base. Let's contact. We love it and now it's become very used. But here's the thing, and I kind of get that, I understand that. Okay, let's touch base next week. Why don't we just say let's meet or let's get in touch or let's chat about this next week, or let's meet to discuss this more. But touch base sounds really cool. The other one I've just discovered is touch base offline. Have you heard of this one? To touch base offline. Touch base offline, does anyone know? Unbelievable. Apparently it means instead of touching base online through email, WhatsApp, whatever, it is I'm going to call you. Why can't we say let's speak to each other on the phone, let's meet, let's touch base offline. That's a new one to me. And I'm thinking, well, let's meet and talk. Let's meet next week. Let's just touch base offline. Oh, it's wonderful. Let's do that. Yeah, that just, when I read that, I just thought, wow, really? Honestly, weird. Anyway, listen, I did say I was going to come up with 3 more, but I realized also we have run out of time. And you guys have been incredibly patient and been listening to me. So I'll tell you what, we will pick up the other 3. No, the other 3 I'll give you are circle back. So in a few seconds, just tell me, what does circle back mean? So I think we've covered all this today, but let's circle back next week. What do we mean? It's another word for meet. Let's circle back. Why do we need to circle back? That's so annoying. So it's let's meet. Let's meet again next week and discuss the issues. Yeah? And what's a game changer? A game changer. Has anyone seen that in English? It's a game changer for us. You know, that what we've done here, it's a complete game changer. I've seen it. And then the other word is also paradigm shift. But it's a game changer. It's become more and more frequent. It is what? What could we use? It's a fundamental change. Or it's a significant change. Why can't we just use that? I prefer these. Significant or fundamental. Circle back. Circle back, funnily enough, is not go back or turn back. It's to circle back is actually to meet. See? And that's confusing, right? Game changer is, it's a fundamental change to the rules of business. So it's a fundamental change. It's an important change, a significant change. Yeah, but game changer. wow, it's a game changer. But a lot of people like to use it and it just sounds so powerful and cool. But there you go. Last one, and this was something that I've been seeing recently. I'm thinking, when did it change? So, do you guys all know what a slide deck is? What's a slide deck? Slide deck is a slide presentation. I'm not too sure when it became a slide deck, but there you go, because I have always used presentations, but a deck, normally we would refer to a deck of cards. So maybe they're thinking about your slide deck, you've got your slides in and they're coming out, you know, if you think of a PowerPoint presentation. But I've seen this referred to a tweet deck, slide deck, or you use your slide deck. And I remember looking at this and thinking, what is that? And then realizing they were talking about a slide presentation, my PowerPoint presentation. It's not even a difficult situation, Gabriela, it's just a slide deck. It's just a presentation. So your PowerPoint presentation where you've got your different slides coming in, so it'll be presentation using slides. And that's it, but they call it a slide deck. And so, you know, often you'll see these sort of expressions that suddenly come into business news, business articles, and you think, wow, what does this mean? You know, I didn't know that. Oh, when did this come out? And then suddenly it becomes part of it. So there you go, everyone. Pranjal, you just asked me, do I have a YouTube channel? Yeah, I do have a YouTube channel. It's englishwithatwist.com. All my videos that I put for Wednesdays with EWAT, I then upload to YouTube and I share it there. But there's no live interaction there. It's only here on Facebook. But guys, thank you so much. You've been most patient. You've listened through this lesson. We've looked at 14 expressions on business jargon. I hope that helped. You might agree, disagree with me, but I'd love to know also what other business jargon words and expressions you found in English that confuse you, that annoy you, that irritate you. Tell me, or that you like and use all the time. And I'd love to know, because it might be that I can put together a little, I could put together a guide for you to have all these jargon busters. So that way you can see what they're all and how they're used and how sometimes it can be confusing. So, you know, do let me know. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. As I say, if you haven't signed up to the EWAT community, have you joined the EWAT community, please do so straight after this lesson. On the Facebook page, you can click on the sign up button and you'll then get access to all my free resources. And then that gives you, you know, sort of that, then you don't have to worry about getting informed about all this, all the free resources I have, which are my weekly lessons posted on a Friday. These lessons, live interaction on a Wednesday, and on Mondays are my business idiom videos. But thank you so much to all of you, May, Claudia, Pranjal, Jason, so many of you, Gabriela, who is Priya, you know, my regulars, new people who've joined, Vaughan, you know, I know it's different times for you, but thank you so much. You guys make this class. You make my Wednesdays with EWAT, my Wednesday afternoons a delight. Thank you so much. Also, one other thing I did mention to you on my Facebook page was the lesson I had yesterday with Cara Leopold about listening skills. So if you signed up for that, don't forget to watch that recording. I will share that recording with you on this because she also had a bundle on how you can improve your listening skills. So there will be a way for you to download her audiobooks, buy her audiobooks. I do get a bit of a commission on that, so that way you're helping me and her, but I'll talk to you about it more. Oh dear, my dog is now getting very, he's getting very impatient now. So I think I better go. Ciao for now, everyone. This was lesson 28 of Wednesdays with EWAT. You guys are great. Can't wait to see you next week for lesson 29 on Wednesday, 28th of June. Stay cool. Make sure you don't have you're not too warm, and I'll see you next week. Ciao for now, guys. Take care. Yeah, my dog is barking. Yes. Take care. Ciao.